Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kodash, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kodash. Now with fun, Kal Halayim, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kodash. The water, Kaya Kal Hawa. The water, Kaya Kal. Thank you for all. That you have given us. The water, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kodash, the water. So you can't say that, praise the name of the Most High and His beloved Son, the heavenly hosts, mainly the Father and the Son. But when we bless people, we bless them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, pursuant to Matthew 28. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I had a bunch of titles, but I'll just deal with this title right now. Understand first and then rebuke. Understand first and then rebuke. I'm going to get it. I'm going to go in on IUIC, and I'm going to go in on Captain Tazariak of the IUIC. I was watching a video that the beloved elder Gazak had put up about his situation. He ran into, he was at the Jackson, Mississippi, the big game out there. So the IUIC had their blitz, and they had like an opening of it. You know, they have a montage of different video cuts. They call that jump cuts. If you're in the industry, you know, when you see a scene and it jumps to another scene, it's called a jump cut with some music in the background. And one of the scenes, and I'll show it. But first, I want to go in on Captain Tazariak, which he's going to be found out that he's clearly wrong. He had did an interview with Hassan Campbell, which if Hassan Campbell, if you're listening, you're an Israelite, you know, so you're good at the end of the day. And what I like about Hassan Campbell, if you want to know, is first thing I notice is children. He loves the hell out of his children. If a man loves his children, there's men out there that love their children more than they love themselves. And he would be one of them. You know, somebody gonna kill you, you jump in front of your children. You love your children more than you love yourself in a lot of cases. So he loves his children more than he loves himself. But anyway, they did the interview. I'll bring it up in a minute. And Captain Tazariak made a statement. Anyway, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me read this. And I have a couple of precepts in my head that I'm gonna read. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place. I'm kind of jumping around. I'll come back to the elder Kazak. He was training to drive a bus, so he had the bus uniform. You know, they make you wear a uniform, you know, with the orange, whatever vest, green orange vest. And when they saw him and they said, what about you, brother? You know you an Israelite? And you try to lay low. And that was his spirit, you know. Maybe I would have said something different. I would have told, they would have known him by face. They didn't know him by face, so now they know him. So they asked him a couple of questions, and they came to the conclusion that he was GMS, and they said, uh-oh, he did a rapist, and the guy that 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 spoke, he basically he said, I'll let you hear. He said, fair use, fair use, fair use. He said, you guys are rapists. You guys condone rape. You guys can go condone rape, which he just condemned himself. And any member of the IUIC that say that, they condemn themselves because they're coming in the spirit of the wicked scribes and Pharisees, pushing the law. You got to keep the law, but these guys didn't keep the law. That's why the Lord said this. The Lord said, He said the Pharisees and scribes said we got to keep the law, right? The Lord said, yeah, do what they say, but don't do what they do. I'm paraphrasing, in my own words. Matthew's the 23rd chapter. Then he goes into, he describes them. He says they got to enlarge the borders of their garment. What do you think that means? They have these beautiful garments and enlarge the borders of what's at the borders? Your fringes. They have those kung fu fringes on. That's something that Nate said, Bishop Nathaniel said. I call them kung fu fringes. Well, that's what you guys are rocking, kung fu fringes, man. Dressing like your angels on the earth. Where the scriptures said we're going to speak, Revelation chapter 11, we're going to speak wearing sackcloth. And sackcloth is a garment of mourning. Now, if you watch the Bruce Lee story, when his father died, they did a jump cut. He was in America, and then he wound up at the burial site of his father. And what was he wearing? He had a white garment on with on top of the garment, he had what do you call that? Damn, I just said it, like a burlap type bag, meaning like a potato sack. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. It's a garment of mourning. Okay, let me see. Revelation. Okay, Revelation 11. Revelation 11. Hey, we say that we believe Bruce Lee is an Israelite. And then people say, well, no, you're a Moabite. What you talking about? Don't go back to the scriptures where it says we were scattered. And that's in many places in the scriptures. We were scattered all over the world. You got the IUIC knows that. That's why they're over there. ISUPK says, well, if you were born in Africa, you're a straight up Hamite. No. What happened to the prophecy of us being scattered throughout the whole world? That's literal. A lot of you guys say the Kardashians are Edomites. They're not Edomites. I grew up with Armenians. They ain't nothing but Jake. They ain't nothing but they dance like Jake. They act like Jake. They fight like Jake. They talk shit like Jake. And I grew up with Armenians that, they didn't have an accent. They spoke perfect English. So they would stay listen to Jake music. They did everything that Jake did. Everything that Jake did. And when I met this particular, I'm talking about this particular guy, he's Armenian, and his father, his grandmother used to call this guy's father, which is Armenian, when he was in his country, she used to say in that tongue, she said, come over here, my little black boy, my little nigger boy, talking about this guy's father. And if you saw his father, he's probably in the spiritual realm. He looked just like a light-skinned Jake. Bear me for a minute. Let me just find this. I don't want to read the whole thing. It was a beautiful chapter, though. Okay, sackcloth. That's the word I was looking for. It said we're going to prophesy in sackcloth. Now, in Isaiah, what is that, 52, it says, put on that beautiful garments. You know what that means? That means put this truth on. That's what it's talking about. The covering, the bones coming together in Ezekiel 37. It's talking about coming back together, acknowledging your true identity, which you're getting pushed back by the media. The media is not going to accept the fact that you're the people. But what they're witnessing is they're witnessing Ezekiel chapter 37 coming to pass. And it starts with even people before Abba Bivens, the commandment keepers. I was doing some research on the commandment keepers. I'm a little all over the place, but bear with me. I'll get back on track. I was reading up on the commandment keepers and why Abba Bivens, Elder Abba Bivens left. Is because they had Edomites. Edomites were welcome. They were kind of like the GOCC. Edomites are welcome. Edomites said, get with our women, we can get with their women. And what else? They adopted a lot of things. They believed that, and they actually had Edomites, small hats, in their congregation. So now I can't get into the mind of the great Elder Abba Bivens, because he's great. The Lord said he was great. That's another thing that ISUPK go off on. They go off on a bunch of different things. They did make the statement some years ago, and we defending it. Got to go back to. I'm a little all over the place. I got to go back to the other day. We were coming back from the speaking, and it was no, I don't know. It was a day after. It was on a Sunday, I believe. It was Apostle Ramlab that said, we're the ones that always rebuke, other camps. And then he kind of got mad. He was talking about Ben Bunyamyan. He said, none of your mother, Bunyam, you don't say shit. Well, Bunyamyan and Barak of the HODC, when we was at the Cornelius Council and they kicked us out, y'all were quiet as church mice. Y'all didn't say a goddamn thing. You don't defend the gospel. It's not about knowing you're an Israelite. If you claim to be a prophet, you're supposed to defend this whole gospel. And Captain Tazariak is dead wrong, because you know what he did? You done fucked up, Captain. When you made the statement, and I'm gonna let you hear it, but I'm gonna let you. I'm all over the place. I'm jumping around like the House of Pain. Bear with me. I'm a little excited. But anyway, Apostle Ramlab kind of curse you out because you don't stand up. You know that the MOTB is what it is because you did one video on it. If you go to their page right now, you ain't gonna find one video on the MOTB, and we got to say that in code because you really don't believe it. Now, the statement that Captain Tazariak made is dead wrong. And if he don't repent from that, he'll take, you know why he says that? Because General Yohannes said that's what it is. So he's pretty much regurgitating what the leadership said. So now remember this, and keep that same energy, because General Yohannes, as soon as they say, oh, we got the vaccine, he said, go ahead and take it. We know that the white man's a devil, but go ahead and take it anyway. Then he pretty much said, you're stupid if you don't take it. But and I got videos on it. Go to my Odyssey page. Check out all my videos where he says it. He goes on this guy, Sarnetta gets mad at him for making that statement. He said, you got to explain yourself. You got to come on my show. And he explains it, that you got to take it. He said, you Jakes out there, you're not going to take it and you're going to die. He said, the white man is, I'm paraphrasing, the white man's going to take it and he's going to live. And this is what I believe it was the beginning of 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Got to go back and check out the video. He said, you Jake's out there, you're not going to take it. And guess what? You're going to die. And the white man, they're going to take it and they're going to live. Well, it first came out in 2019, right? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Going on 4 years. It's going on 4 years. Unless in about 3 more weeks, it'll be 2023. We're talking about going on 4 years since the so-called thing came out. It was the deadliest disease known to man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is the end of humanity and all that. You got to take this shot, right? So he said that. I'm still here. Ain't nobody in Great Millstone died of no goddamn Crown Vicky. So either you, I don't know what demon jumped on you to make you say that. We believe you took the bag. So keep that same energy. When they set up them MOTB Karagma stations, keep that same energy and tell them to go ahead and take it. And if anybody that takes it, you're gonna die. You ain't gonna get sick and die. You're gonna get a missile. You're gonna eat a missile. These guys have no business out there teaching at all. That's a major prophecy. I did a video, and the title had something to do with the major prophecies coming soon, and it was talking about the MOTB. That's why we always talk about it. To ad nauseum. Look that word up. So you said that matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Okay, this video right here. Captain Tazariak break down them. Give me a second. My phone rang. It was a scam call, so I didn't answer it. I didn't expect no calls this early in the morning. Anyway, that's Satan. That was Satan. Satan called. Anyway, this is Captain Tazariak breakdown. Captain Tazariak breakdown the MOTB wrong. All right, we back. Captain Tazariak breakdown. It should be breaks down, but that's all right. Captain Tazariak breakdown the mark of the beast wrong. GMS rebuke the temper. Rebuke the tempter. 2. Subscribe and be edified. Anyway, let me see. Let me come over here. Matter of fact, let me just start it from the beginning and I'll jump around. Many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And so Captain Tazariak is deceiving the masters because a lot of people follow him, right? So he set up through the spirit, whether maybe he's sincere, maybe he really actually believes it, but guess what? You're sincerely wrong. You're dead wrong. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. The only ones that have this thing right dealing with the Revelation chapter 13. That's why we keep bringing it up. Is a men of GMS and Sakari, and that's pretty much it. That maybe there's some others, but Sakari straight up believe. Matter of fact, Deacon Akar did a video a couple of days ago. I think it was a Thursday or a Friday where he went into it. He went into the MOTB. Unlike this group did, the HODC. Okay, so now let me just, it's just a 5-minute long video. I'm just gonna play some of it. You gotta watch the whole video yourself, this video right here, in order for you to get, get the full video. And I'm not gonna play the whole video. And then I'm gonna get back into the IUIC and how they're false accusers. And they claim and how many times have they said keep the law? And yet they broke a major law in the first 10. To falsely accuse somebody. And that's what they're doing. They're saying in one side of their mouth, keep the law. Keep the law. And then they'll break the law. They'll falsely accuse somebody. And the Most High is going to break up the IUIC. Scriptures say, and they're full of pride. Most of them guys are full of pride. They just know they got it. They just got it. Well, I say in the spirit that the Most High is going to break that group up. It says, pride cometh before a fall. All right? I'm merely quoting part of a precept. So let's listen. I'm going to say this again. Captain Tazariak of the ISUPK, you are dead wrong. And if you keep that same energy and you listen to General Yohana, he's going to most likely say, I doubt he's going to say, don't take it, GMS. I doubt, because he got too much pride in him in any damn way, and we believe he took the bag. He's going to most likely say, go ahead and take it. And then you fools, you jackasses are going to take it, and you're done. You're sealed. That's it. You can't take it. You better hope when you take it, it pops out. You better hope when you take it, it pops out, and there's some lightning up your head. That's a message. You better hope that happens, because if that thing gets injected in you, and it stays in you, and you go from day to day, and you use it to buy and sell, you bunch of fucking idiots. Have y'all been watching the news? It's all over the world. Now they're talking about, and they're really going to push it in another, I would say, January, starting January. They're doing tests right now with the the central bank digital currency, the CBDC. Because what they're planning on doing is they're planning on doing away with the paper dollar, which is a digital dollar, digitalizing your bank account. But it's going to be a national, they're going to digitalize all the money, and then there's going to be a world dollar. Because all these countries, Jamaica, they're doing it. They had the governmental meetings where they were pushing it. I did a video on that. Sri Lanka, somebody put a video up talking about the CBDC, because this is a world thing. So when you buy and sell, you're going to be buying and selling with DCs, digital currency, digital money, and that's slavery. That's slavery. Their plan. That's one of the most major prophecies in the scriptures. When I did a video on it, that's one of the most major. That's up there. That's up there with the top 3, the top 5. I mean, us coming over here in slave ships, us going into hardcore captivity, slavery, fulfillment of prophecy, major prophecies. Time of Jacob's trouble. The time of Jacob's trouble is going to come when this CBDC is in place, and eventually You're going to have to get a digital wallet in order for you to actually buy and sell. In your right hand on your forehead. See, these guys don't study. There's a thing called etymology. There's a term called hermeneutics, which deals with, it's the same word. Hermeneutics is like a fancier way of saying etymology, going to the root words. So when it comes, if you're of the elect, you're gonna leave. If you're of the elect and you're on IUIC, guess what? You're gonna leave IUIC, and you're gonna seek to get with GMS or just follow GMS. Remember, the Most High set forth the apostles last. Bishop Nathaniel is not he's not an apostle. He's a bishop. It didn't say the Most High will send the bishops last. The Most High said he will. This is what the Apostle Paul said. I think that the Most High have sent the apostles last, as it was appointed to death. They had the power; they'd kill us. So I don't know how many times I can say it, Captain Desariac. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. As the day is long, and IUIC. When you teach this, you are wrong. You are wrong. As the day is long. And if you keep that same energy and you go ahead and take it, you will not make it. You will not make it. You will suffer the same fate as Esau and the other nations and the 2/3 of Israel. Matter of fact, you're going to be the two-thirds of Israel. So now look at this. 44 views 4 hours ago. My page the other day, I got some new subscribers. My page the other day, if you go to the page, not this one, it was 400, it was 44, what was it? I think it was 4,000.44. And I was going to take a screenshot, and then I came back, I lollygagged on it, and I came back. Now it's 446. So that's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. So let me just let you listen. Let me let you listen up. This is a this is a serious prophecy. This is a major prophecy. The destruction can't come, the kingdom can't come unless this prophecy, this major prophecy comes to pass. And the fact that you can't see it, I'm not just talking about Captain Desariac. I'm talking about anybody in the ISUPK or the IUIC. If you can't see it, it's because of one or two things. You've been compromised, or the Most High just blinded you that you can't see it. Either way, you're done. If you don't repent from this, you are done. So let's listen, watch, listen, and learn. Oh, and if Hassan Campbell is a part of the elect, he's gonna come out of it. He's gonna get with us. Let me bring that back. 1 John 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, Yahweh by Shemal Shai. Because many false prophets are gone out into the world. I mean, there's a topic right there, false prophets. Let me do this. Okay, so I went back to sackcloth, right? It said we're going to what? And I will give power unto the two witnesses, and they shall prophesy in 1,260 days, closing what? Sackcloth. Let's look up the word sackcloth. It's the Greek word sakkos. A sack. A coarse a coarse cloth, a dark, coarse stuff made especially from the hair of animals. When you read about John the Baptist, right? John the Baptist, it said that he wore camel hairs. Matter of fact, let me go to that. And then the Lord said, what did you expect to see? You expect him to look like an angel from heaven? Huh? Because contrary to popular belief, John the Baptist he was homeless, living in the woods. Why was he eating wild honey and locusts and wild honey? Because that's all he had. They didn't have no 7-Eleven down the street. They ain't had no goddamn BJ's, no damn Walmart, or no Puerto Rican, Dominican bodegos. Give me a second. Living in some serious times, man. Okay, so let me go to Matthew 11. The Lord's tribute to John. Now, IUIC made it clear that John the Baptist fell out the truth. He should have followed Yahushua, and he fell out the truth. Okay, if he fell out the truth, there's another thing that the IUIC go off on. If he fell out the truth, why would the Lord big him up? Say that among prophets there's none greater than Elijah. And if you receive this is Elijah, which is fourth to come. He's talking about John, which he came back 2 times. He said that before. Reincarnation is in the Bible. It's a biblical concept. It's part of the teaching of the Bible. You know, guys like vocab can't get it because the Most High is not dealing with vocab alone. He's an Edomite. Read Daniel 12 and 10. Okay, so now let's read this real quick. We're kind of going off subject a little bit, but that's all right too. There's lessons within lessons. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitude, the Israelites said, oh, listening, concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind. What does that mean? A reed shaken with the wind. Did you think you were going to see some weak guy? He was probably muscled up too. You ever see these super homeless people that live in the damn bottom of the train the subway system? All them motherfuckers all them dudes got fucking 6-packs, man. They got muscles on them, you know, because they're living that hard. That's that hard life. That's that hard life. Remember, John the Baptist was a homeless person that lived in the wilderness. It said that. What went ye out into the wilderness to see? He didn't have a bed. He didn't have cable TV. He didn't have a refrigerator. When he had to do a number 2, he had to have like that shovel thing, and that's in the law. By the way, that's in the law. Now, if IUIC says wear your fringes, you ask them where's your hoe at, meaning that little shovel. You're supposed to have a shovel. That's in the law. You're supposed to have a well, that's the Most High. Anything's in law. If the Most High, the Apostle Paul saying a man's not why I belong here, guess what? That's part of the law because the Most High ordained it. That's why it's in the scriptures. You're supposed to have this hoe on the side of your garment. So when you do a number two in the woods at war, you take the hole, you dig the ground up, and you put the hole, the number two in the ground, and use the hole to cover it back up. That's in the law. Let me see if I can find that. Like I said, there's lessons within lessons. And let's see if I can spell it correctly. All right. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, let's try hoe. Let's try hoe. All right, let me try this. I'll deal with this word hoe. Bear with me for a minute. I'll move on to another video. I don't care. Tell them whether they're here for a beer. Okay, so I guess this is the word metak. Ma'ai dar, which is a hoe. And let me go to the root. See, this is how we study. This is called hermeneutics. This is called etymology. Bear with me for a minute. Let me do it this way. I got to cheat a little bit. Is Israel right? Men took a hoe with them at war. Let's see what comes up. They're not giving it to me. Let me put in bath when they went to the bathroom. Let me try it that way. Let's try it this way. Somebody help me out. I didn't know I was going to go here. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a minute. Please forgive me. Let me see. Let me try dig. Let me try dig. I didn't know I was going to come to this. I hadn't read that scripture. Okay, I believe I found it. Okay, I believe this is it. I believe this is it. But I want to click on this. I'm in the 13th verse, Deuteronomy 23, verse 13. Uh, 10th verse. Okay, so let me start the 11th verse. But it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. Um, thou shalt have a place also without the camp, outside the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad, away from the people, and thou shalt have a paddle. The word there is paddle upon thy weapon, where your weapon is at, and it shall be when thou wilt ease thyself abroad. What does that mean? Thou shalt dig therewith, with what? The paddle, and shalt turn back and cover that which cometh from thee. So now let's go into this word paddle. So next time they ask you where's your fringes at, you ask them where's your paddle. Where's your paddle at? Well, that's for their phylacteries. Where's your paddle? We don't need no paddle. We go, well, hey, wait a minute. What if all the bathrooms were closed? You need that paddle. You can't dig it up with your fringes. Right? It says pins here, but the word is, you read it. It kind of gets lost in translation. But when you're out there, matter of fact, let me do this. Like persons excluded from the assembly. Oh, part of that is if you're afraid, if you're afraid, you don't have to go to war. I mean, I got the point. That's what that means. If you're in the field, in the field out there, even in the camp, the camp represented all of Israel, right? If you had to go to the bathroom, you had to walk out into the woods, past, being nowhere around the people, and you bend down, you do what you got to do, because they didn't have no party pots or whatever you call it out there. They didn't have that out there, man. Some truck come along and pick it up, clean it, and no, they didn't have that. Porta potties. They didn't have porta potties back there. Maybe you niggas believe that they did, but they didn't. I'm here to tell you that they didn't. You went out into the woods, you did a number one, did a number two. The number two, You would dig a hole, you would put the number 2 in the hole, and you would cover the hole. And what does that do? That adds to the soil. That adds to the soil. When things are grown in the ground, you use the number 2 from cows and other animals. So that was an actual law. So next time they ask you where's your fringes at, you ask them where's your paddle at. Let me do it in the let me read it in the let me read it in the Hebrew. Where's your yathad at? Where's your yathad at? Nigga, where's your fringes at? Where's your yathad at? Where is your athad? Where is your phylacteries? Just having a little fun here. But anyway, let me do this. Let me come back over here. All right, this is Matthew 11, right? A reed, what do you think he was going to see when he went out to the wilderness? A reed shaking with the wind, like some little weak guy? But what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses, meaning kings wear a different, the super rich. You see a super rich, like an Edomite on Wall Street or whatever, a multi-millionaire, he's wearing a $5,000 suit. He probably got a pair of $1,000 shoes on him. He probably got a $300 tie. His whole outfit probably worth almost $10,000. The average Joe that works, they go to like a Burlington Coat Factory or whatever, they get their clothes there. You don't go to those different shops. It says, but what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment, behold, they that he wore a hard garment, a rough garment, sackos. They that wear soft garments are in kings' houses, meaning kings and queens and their princes wear soft garments. But what went ye out to see? A prophet? Yeah, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. Now, how in the hell, I don't want to say the F word, how in the hell is the IUIC going to say that he fell off the truth? It said, the Lord said after he died, the Lord said, this man is a prophet. Not only a prophet, he's more than a prophet. He's a prophet in a bag of chips. He's a special prophet. For this is he of whom it is written, behold, I will send my messenger. And Isaiah said that, Malachi said that, before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. So he was preparing the way before the Lord. So y'all need to go back and understand these scriptures. This is why you're going off on that charagma thing. Very like saying to you, among them that are born of woman, that means every man, including prophets. So who is the greatest prophet that ever lived outside of Yahushua? Elijah, which came back as John and came back as Abba. Now they don't really put it out there, but IUIC believes members, or whether Bishop Nathaniel, cosigns it, that Bishop Nathaniel is supposed to be Elijah coming back. That's a fucking lie, man. That's a lie straight out of the pits of hell. He ain't no Elijah the prophet. Now, if he believes that, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai may destroy his ass. But they have their own gospel. They teach their own way. So all the Lord did was gave John the Baptist nothing but praise. Nothing but praise. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, let me just go to this here. Where is it? I gotta find it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So these guys are anybody that's teaching you that the charagma, we know what that is, MOTB, you can take it. There's nothing wrong with it. It has nothing to do with the scriptures. Go ahead and take it. They're false prophets. They're false prophets. That's why the Lord said, it spoke about, matter of fact, let me do this. No, let me do it. Yeah, let me do it this way. False prophet. False prophet. Let's deal with false prophet. Okay, matter of fact, let me do it this way. Acts 13:6. And when they had gone through the isles unto Paphos, they found a certain sorcerer, a false prophet, a Jew, an Israelite, whose name was Bar Jesus, meaning son of Jesus, son of Yahushua. Bar is Aramaic, should be bun. Let me do this. Let me add an S to it. 21 times in 9 verses. Let's read these. Jeremiah 14:14. Then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither. Anybody that says the MOTB is not the fulfillment of Revelation 13:16, straight up, they're a false prophet. If they don't repent, they're going to wind up taking it pursuant to Revelation 3:10. They're going to wind up taking it because they were deceiving the people. And because a lot of people follow Bishop Nathaniel, a lot of people follow Captain Tazariak of the ISUPK. So if he goes ahead and signs off on it, and we come back and say, GMS says, no, don't follow it. Well, I ain't going to listen to you too. You guys are a bunch of rapists. So guess what? That's a stumbling block right there. So who set up the stumbling block for Israel to deceive them? The Most High. Who set up the false prophets? The Most High. Whose MOTB is it? The Most High's. That's not the Esau's MOTB. That's the Most High's MOTB. He gave the technology to this man, Esau, the Edomites. Then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. So he said he's on Hassan Campbell's show, and they somehow go, and I was watching part of it. I don't watch the whole thing. I went to sleep early. I sent them not. Neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and which is witchcraft, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their what? Of their heart. Why did Captain Zariak say it so proudly? Or I'm not going to say so much proudly. I'll say with such confidence, because he's following a false prophet. General Yohanan, this is the guy that told you not to take. Go ahead and take it. If you don't take it, you're going to die. I'm still here. Nobody in GMS died of it or got sick. I haven't heard a report of it. And if they did get it, they use herbs or whatever to get over it. Man. Now what they're saying is nothing but a cold. The other day on the news, they said, what's the symptoms of this new virus, the C9, the new version? You know what they said? And before they said, I said they're going to say a cold or a flu. So guess what? 10 years ago, you got the flu, you went to the doctor, You say you got the flu. You want to take the shot? No, I'll drink my grandmother's remedy chicken soup, with hot peppers in it. Drink it, goes out of your system. Same thing with the C19. Ain't nothing but a cold or flu germ. That's all it is. Because what year was it? Was it 20? I think it was 2021, where they said, wow, it's amazing. Nobody got the flu. Everybody that went in with the symptoms of the flu, they said, well, you got the C19. You got to take the shot. I have personal friends that died suddenly. There's a movie. There's a movie out. Watch that movie. It's not even on YouTube. If you put it in YouTube, there's people commenting on it, but you got to go to either Rumble or Odyssey to watch it. It says, Lamentation 2, verse 14, the prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. Matthew 7, verse 15, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, the nice garments, the nice flowing garments, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Matthew 24 and 11, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. So when you listen to IUIC, IUIC, GMS, any of the groups, Sakari, any of the groups, HODC, any of the groups, you got to say in your mind, I got to check everything that these guys say, because they could be false prophets. And what does a false prophet do? They give you a lot of truth, but every once in a while they'll throw a lie in there. Whether they realize it or not. So Captain Tazariak can be deemed as a false prophet for making that statement. He says a lot of good things. He defends the gospel, but guess what? You got to defend the whole gospel. When you make a statement like that, all the other stuff that you did goes right out the window. You get a bowl of soup or some food, and you go to eat it, and you see a fly in there. You ain't gonna eat that food. And the way to come over, he'll say, well, let me take the fly out. You can continue to eat. You ain't gonna eat that. You throwing that shit away. What is that? The fly in the ointment. Let me go to that. I don't gotta go there. Ain't no big deal. It says for false, now Christ meaning messiahs, for false messiahs and false prophets shall rise and shall show signs and wonders. They're gonna do great things. You see the ISUPK doing a march, and that was a great wonder. Look at them. There's 4,000 of them. They're marching. Let's put them on the different shows. And Jason Whitlock, man, I would have got. He said, the only enemy I see is myself. That's the only enemy I see. I ain't got no enemy. It's myself. When I went to the strip club, I was the enemy. I would have said, look, nigga, I'm getting off this. And we don't need to go to these fucking shows, man. We already got a platform. The ones that's going to get this truth are the elect. So some way or another, they're going to come across a video. They're going to come across an IUIC video, ISUPK video, Sakari video, HODC video, GMS video. And then the spirit, if they're one of the elect, guess what? They're going to be led right to GMS. Or they might not be led by GMS. They might just follow GMS. The false messiahs and false prophets shall arise and shall show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect. It says, Luke 6, verse 26, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you. Do they speak well of GMS? No, they never speak well of us. So they speak well of Captain Tazariak. They speak well of General Yohana. They especially speak well of the IUIC and the bishop, they speak well of them. It said, woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. So you can't say, well, that's talking about you. No, they talk bad about us. They talk bad about us. See, we're the only ones that can call ourselves apostles. They can't call themselves the apostles. Bishop Nathaniel wants to call himself an apostle, but he can't. But I said, go ahead and call yourself an apostle. You want to be one. Let's see how long it takes before you start calling himself an apostle. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the what? False prophets. What do they do to the true prophets? They sought to kill them. Second Peter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets among you, among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. Those are the stumbling blocks that the Most High set up to deceive you. I, the Lord, have deceived that man or that prophet who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord. They don't want to call on the name Yahweh. They'll call on Most High and Christ blessed, that brought them and bring upon themselves swift destruction. When the destruction comes, it's going to come swift. 1 John 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but test the spirits, try me to test whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So you're supposed to test us as well as everybody else. Let me come back over here. But there were false prophets among them, people, even as false teachers. Okay, this is what I want. Damnable heresies. Let's look up the word damnable. Apolia, which means to destroy, destroying, utterly destroy, perish. Perdition, heresies. Let's look up the word heresy. Choosing that which is chosen, a body of men following their own tenets, sect, or party of Sadducees, Pharisees, of the Christians, dissensions arising from diversity of opinions and aims. So, Captain Tazariak, and not just him, but he recently just made that video last night. He made that statement, which confirmed his belief. First Corinthians 11, verse 19, for there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. So we're making them manifest. And that goes into the word sect. Oh, you a GMS guy, so you rape little girls, which is, false accusation. That's in the top 10. Let me look up the word heretic. Bear with me for a minute. I'm just getting warmed up. So if y'all want to go to another video, go right ahead. Heretic. Heretic. I'm deliberately spelling it wrong. Okay. Heretic. Let's see. Let's see if it comes up in the heretic. Let's try it this way. Okay, bear with me for a minute. Okay, so this is in the web translation. I want to go to the, this is Timothy 3, verse 10. I want to go to the King James. I'm sorry. I knew that was going to happen, or should have known. Let me do it this way, because it's spelled differently in the King James. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Go back to King James. Okay, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. So if we tell you, look, you're going off, you got to do it this way, you're going off on that, you're breaking that scripture wrong, you can leave him alone because you told him. The blood is off your hands, right? Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. And then, but you can tell him a second time, look, brother, you're going on. We told these guys numerous of times. All right? It says a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject, leave him alone, knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. So Captain Zarek, if he doesn't repent and change his views and leave the IUIC, he will be destroyed. So let's do this. Let's take out the word heretic. I'm gonna get back into the main subject, but there's lessons within lessons. Fitted or able to take or choose a thing. Schismatic. Factious. A follower of a follower of a false doctrine. A follower of a false doctrine. Heretic. That's what it means. What does the word heretic mean? It means a follower of a false doctrine. So if you're teaching, and look, the MOTB is in fact no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm 1,000,000,000% sure that the fulfillment of the Revelation 13:16 is what we've been saying it is. It's the charagma. I'm not saying maybe we might be off. I don't know. Let's see what the Most High says. Let's wait on that. Let's do some more. No, we got it and we said it. This is what it is. It is what it is. And if you can't get it and you're teaching otherwise, you're going to take it. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to take it. That's why it's called an hour of fucking temptation. Because you're going to be tempted. You're going to have one of you go ahead and take it. Nope, go ahead and take it. That has nothing to do with the scriptures. But you didn't window shop in the GMS videos, and now you're fucking you're torn between two thoughts here. I don't know, man. If I take it, what if GMS is right? I don't know. This is your feeble ass mind. Now I'm just gonna go with the general, and guess what? You're gonna go with the missiles too. I see a lot of these guys thinking twice. The hour of temptation, and then in the other translation, it doesn't say the hour. It says something to the effect of the time of temptation. Now let's do this. Let me come on back. Let me come on back. right here, right? A man that is a heretic with someone that follows a false doctrine, as the first and second admonition reject. And we read this, condemn himself. He condemns himself. So let's go to the NLT. Let's see what that says. If people are causing division among you, give a first and second warning. After that, having nothing more to do with them. For people like that have turned away from the truth and their own sins condemn them. If you ain't teaching the truth correctly, you are sin. What does the word sin mean? It means to miss the mark. In the Hebrew and in the Greek, it both means to miss the mark. What's the mark? The law. Then you have the commandments, and you have the spiritual commandments that the Lord spoke of. He gave out new commandments. He overrides the commandments that Moses made, which he added on to the commandments. Okay, where did I say I was going to go to? All right, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let me let you listen. I hope you can listen. And then we're going to get into the IUIC for their false allegations, false accusers. And that's what they are, false accusers.
FEMA camps, just to correct, there ain't no such thing as a microchip that's a mark of the beast.
Okay, these are cuts. Let me just jump right to them again. I don't want to get this. Okay, let's go back to them again. All right. Now, if Hassan Campbell is one of the elect, he ain't gonna listen to him when that time comes. When the hour of temptation comes, which will come upon the whole world in the oikoumenic sense, if he's one of the elect, he's gonna say no. He's gonna tell him because he's bold. He's gonna tell him, look, you're wrong. That is the charagma. All right. So let's listen to some more. Let's listen to some more. Listen. And I hope you're listening, Paul Kersey. You old wine bottle, you.
So the beast is the spirit that you carry for that beast. So that mark, like when it says in your forehead, what's in your forehead? Your brain, what you think with.
Okay, so now let me see if there's any more. Let me see if there's any more to Captain Tazariak. Okay. And the funny thing is, Captain Tazariak was following men because they had like a chat thing going. And before he came into the IUIC, he was following guys like the elder, just to name one guy, the elder of the GMS Dallas camp, Elder Yashawamba, and there was others. There was others that was a part of that because they still had that chat thing where they get in and chat, going through scriptures and stuff. So he first, this is when he would call himself Madai. I think it was Madai. It started with an M, Madai. And he was following men of GMS. I don't know if he knew that they were GMS or I don't know if he knew the difference between IUIC and G, but eventually what he did was, the elder Yashawamba said recently that he had a problem. Well, he said that from a while years ago. He said this guy had a problem when the women scriptures came in. He had a problem with it, but he didn't have a problem with the MOTB. So now, if you're watching and listening, Elder Yashawamba, you can make a video on it to confirm what I just said, because you did say it in another video. So let's listen to this here. Bear me for a minute. Fair use. Let's listen.
Is the action. That's the mark in your hand. So next time carrying.
Okay. I'm not going to show this. Let me see if he says any more. Okay. All right, good. Let's come over here.
That information, what are you willing to do with it? We take in the information that I could be a drug dealer, and we take the action of doing it. We take in the information of I could kill my brother, and we take the action of doing it.
Captain Zazariak is going off and not breaking down the scriptures correctly. Well, if that's the case, then the MOTB been here from the time. That means, well, wait a minute now. That means the actions that we make in our mind and our hands and all that. Well, guess what? Adam and Eve had the MOTB. Do you see how stupid that fucking shit is, man? When you really think, Adam and Eve had it. Moses had it. When Moses said, "Do I have to hit this rock to feed to give the Israelites water?" And the Most High said, "You see that beautiful land? You're not going there because of what you did. You put it. You said, oh, and by the way, Bishop Nathaniel, he's on that Uncle Tom's cabin, aka Jason Whitlock's show. I would have got when he said that the enemy is myself. I believe I'm the enemy, man. No, I ain't got no enemy. The only enemy is myself. I would have said, you know what, man? Unmic me. Let me get the fuck off this goddamn show. Anyway, that means Adam had it. That means Eve had it. That means Abel had it. That means Cain had it. Whoa, wait a minute. Cain did have it. So maybe the MOTB was back there with Cain because did not the Most High set a mark on him? That means King David had it. That means Solomon had it. That means, the Apostle Paul had it. Where it says in Revelation 20, verse 4, that none of the prophets, the holy men of the Most High, I'm merely paraphrasing, shall take that MOTB. They don't understand it. They cannot explain it because the Most High have blinded them or they took the bag. Okay, good. Let's listen to some more of this. Let's listen to some more. Listen.
What you put in your spirit, what you take into your brain affects how you carry yourself. So we don't have to wait. Listen, we do everything the white man tells us to do today. He does not have to put a microchip in our body.
So he just said he got it. So you're doomed. Read Revelation 14. You can start the 8th verse. Read the whole chapter, great chapter. We started really at the 8th, 9th verse. Read down. Also, Revelation 19, I believe it's in Revelation 20, 20, and 4, that none of the men of the Lord is going to take it. They would rather get their head chopped off. What else? What else in Revelation? Well, Revelation 13, of course. Revelation 16, the first couple of verses, it said that you're going to get a grievous sore, which is a cancer, something that pushes out pus, which is a cancer. You got something pus coming out of your hand. You better do something about it, or it'll turn into cancer. It'll affect your whole body. All right, like you took the thing, the skeeter, like the doctor ordered.
To control us. He does not have to do that. We already do it. The stimulus, we take it. Welfare, we take it. His drugs, we take it. Join his military, we do it.
So if you use money, that means all of us got it. So all of us is doomed. That means all of us got it. Esau don't got to give us nothing. All of us got it according to what he says. But what does it say in the scriptures? Let's come over here. And I'm gonna say this: any of you people out here that's watching GMS, you disagree with anything we're saying, please fucking leave, man. Just goddamn leave. Just go get. You got a bunch of camps you can go to. Go to IUIC so you can get a purple T-shirt and march down the fucking street. And I guarantee you, those guys that be marching, they're blind. Well, scriptures speak about blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall into a ditch. They're gonna be marching one day and they're gonna fall into a ditch, and them stupid niggas gonna still march, and they see niggas disappearing into the ground. You can see that them guys are not deep. What they do is they get them precepts, which I give them credit. They teach that they're Israel, they're Israelites, they're our brothers. In the kingdom of heaven, guess what? All them guys' heads are gonna be down. And then we're gonna pat him on the back and say, that's all right, brother. You didn't know what you were doing. We the ones. Like the song says, still the one. I can clap my hands. Still the one. We're still having fun, and we're still the one. Remember that song? That was a great song, done by Edomites. Esau was in the spirit of music on that day. Still the one. I can stomp my feet. Yeah, still the one. I can really eat. I'm bugging. And where did I say I was gonna go? Oh, this is where I said I was gonna go. And the scriptures say stammering lips and another tongue. Look up the word stammering. It means to be buffoonish. Elijah with the 400 prophets of Baal, when he was snapping on them, he wasn't talking like Alexander Scorby. He was laughing, and he became buffoonish. He was snapping on them. He said, where your God at? What do you know, he went to sleep, he woke up late. Nigga went out on the trip. That's how he was saying it. These ancient prophets wasn't walking around like Alexander Scorby. Look him up. The whoa man. Okay, where am I at? Okay, I'm sorry, Revelation. According to what Captain Tazariak said, that means we all have it. That means we all have it. It's what's put in your mind. So now it's about taking it out. So he's saying we got it, right? We already got it. Mosai said not to take it. We already got it. We went to kindergarten, first grade, second grade. We've been had it in us, right? Come on now. Come on, dog. Okay, the 144,000. Okay, doomed for worshipers of the beast. But wait a minute, that would be everybody, because all of us came out of the school system. All of us went to churches. You know, we all came up under the church. We all believed that Caesar Borgia was the Messiah. So we all got it. Adam got it. Eve got it. Solomon got it. Moses got it. All of us got it. It says, 9th verse, Revelation 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, it's not a picture of Caesar Borgia for you dumbasses out there. That's a picture of Caesar Borgia. I got a book. See, this is what they were making. This is how they come up with this. That was Michelangelo. He made a picture of the beast, the image, and then Leonardo da Vinci, he made an image, and that's what it is. No, it's not, dumbass. If any man worship the beast, and the scriptures say the symbol believeth every word. If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. According to what Captain Tazariak just said, you can go back and listen to it again. He said, well, it's the white man putting his philosophy in your mind. He said, you know, the white man doing this, is in our hand. When you work on the job, well, guess what? Then we're all condemned. Where does it say in the scriptures you have? Where did any of the apostles or the prophets say you have the mark in you? Now it's time to push it out through the Lord. No, it's here, but it's not here fully. And another thing, what about the people around the world? What about the Muslims? Are they going to accept it? That means they're going to become Christians. See, when you think, and like I said, the majority of Israelites that come into this thing, that you're not of the elect, you go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think I'll go with this guy. I like his garment. And you're going to follow him right into oblivion. As Mike Tyson would say, Bolivian. You winding up right in Bolivian. It's oblivion. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture. What is that talking about? The destruction, the missiles, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lord. Lamb. That means that when they burn in hell for a million years, they're going to have bleachers with the angels and the Lord watching them burn. Look at that motherfucker. Look at that crispy nigga right there. Look at that nigga right there. A million years. No, it's talking about the destruction. That's why these boneheaded Christians can't get it. That's why vocab Malone, you bonehead, you can't get it. You're non-rhyming, boneheaded demon. This is talking about the destruction. This is talking about the destruction by way of the ICBM missiles. So now let's come back over here. Let's listen to a little bit more.
So when it's police force, we do it. We do it. Get the next.
Let's come back over here.
Name me one thing the white man has told us to do that we ain't done. We've done it all. But when a brother tells you, love your brother as yourself, man, I ain't doing that. You can't fix the hood. You can't do that. So the beast, or what we should be marked with, is the word of the Lord. Ezekiel 9:4 says, mark them that sigh and that cry. And we're the ones that sigh and cry for our brothers. Now, before we sighed and cried, what information did we have? We had the information of this society. And so we did things that harmed not only our brothers and sisters, but ourselves. We had to be marked or put something else in our brain. And so everybody can understand, you read Revelation 7:4, it said, hold back the wind until we have.
This man is a false prophet. Beware of him. And I agree 100%. He don't know what's going on. And he was given the truth. He was introduced to the truth by the brothers out there, but he decided to go with the IUIC. So he's lost, man. And that's a cunningly devised fable. Like I said, we're a 1,000,000,000% correct. We're 1,000,000,000,000% correct. We got it. We got it. We ain't getting it. We already got it. So now let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. I got to find it. The spirit wasn't on me yesterday. I mean, I did one video, but the spirit really wasn't on me like it was like it's supposed to be. I feel that the spirit's on me today. Spirit is like the wind. Okay, so now this right here is. Okay, this right here is they went. IUIC went to this big game in Jackson, Mississippi. This is IUIC are not the men of the Lord. Follow, yabba dabba, do if you want to. I came up with that. As a matter of fact, we was on the phone with the elder Kazak, and I said, yeah, I said them niggas are that yabba dabba do Israelites. We started cracking up. So let me go right. Let me just let you listen. So you saw the guy. He's one of them prominent guys. He was teaching last night. This brother, I don't know the brother's name. You heard what he said, right? Let me play it one more time. Let me put it all the way up. You heard what he said in a southern accent. You down here condoning rape. How can you be? You ain't a man of God. The man of God ain't going to condone rape. Well, that shows you right there that they don't know the law. They don't know that the simple believeth every word. They don't know the law. Now, I want them to bring out the whole video. This is what they do. They give you these little cuts, right? Give you these little cuts. I wonder if they're going to play the whole video because they were the ones with the camera. I hope they play the whole video of them having a discussion back and forth. First of all, what did I do? Did I read this? Well, I think the title was Understand First, Then Rebuke. So let me read. That's Ecclesiastes 11, verse 7. Let me read it in context. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown. So they saying, what's the word? This is what vocab Malone said. GMS is the worst crown, the worst camp out there, right? Let's read it again. Many kings have sat down on the ground, and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown. So we're going to wear the crown. I mean, they're going to eventually wear it too, but we're going to wear the crown before they do. Many mighty men have been greatly disgraced, and the honorable delivered into other men's hands. There's great men that fight many battles, and sometimes you have your last battle and the enemy overdoes you. And they showed you that in the movie the Kingdom of Heaven. The king not taking counsel, he went to fight the men of Saladin. And they captured the guy and they put him on a donkey and they tied his ass up and they were making mockery of him and then they killed him. It says, so it says this. It says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. When we taught, when Brother Polite rolled up and he getting ready, he did it. He did it. You say he didn't do it, you an idiot, man. He brought it up and we said, do y'all teach that? I said, well, I said, this is what the scriptures say. I gave out the scriptures and I read the scriptures. What did the IUIC do? Mainly them. They got caught up in their emotions. They got caught up in their emotion. And then they even said it does happen in the book of Judges. What about Judges 19? With Benjamin, that they had to take the girls, and they said that can only happen in emergencies. But wait a minute, are they breaking the law? Because the law says, according to you guys, they're supposed to be put to death. Why didn't the men of 400 men of Benjamin didn't get put to death? Because it was an emergency. That's the excuses. The scriptures speak about maketh an excuse. That's also in the Apocrypha. I'm not going to go to that. So they're trying to fit the narrative. But you got simple people that would, you're right, brother. Friday, sundown, Saturday, sundown, here's the Sabbath. Yeah, that's right. Even the small hats got that right. The moon, the full moon is a new moon. How foolish, any scholar would laugh you to scorn if you said the full moon, the new moon is the full moon. Any scholar, any biblical scholar would laugh you to scorn. So Bishop Nathaniel said, I did some research and I found out something, we were wrong. The new moon is the full moon, and everybody just got it. All of a sudden, they saw it. Like I said, if before, many times, if Bishop Nathaniel got up and said, "The Lord came to me in a vision," and he said, "The MOTB is the fulfillment of Revelation 13, verse 16," he's not going to say he's not going to say thereafter, GMS was right, we were wrong, I'd like to make an apology to GMS. He ain't going to say that. He's going to say, a vision came to me, and the MOTB is a fulfillment, so don't take it. Guess what? All his blind zombies, they're going to see it, and they're going to start teaching it. If he said that grape is all right, they'll start teaching it. If he broke down the scripture, well, the beast is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they'll start teaching it. Because what do? They're master regurgitators. I'm just telling it like it is. It says, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. So now they put that little clip up. Please, IUIC, put the whole thing up. Let's hear what he had to say. Let's hear the whole thing without the music. Because when you said that, you falsely accused a man or GMS of going out there raping women, and then you add some spice on it. Oh, a 6-year-old, you mean to tell me we're doing that and we're bragging about it and we ain't getting hemmed up? Are you crazy? We explained it the right way when Brother Polite rolled up on us. And what is he accused of? So I hope that these men have enough integrity to bring out, let me come back right here. Come back right over here. And by the way, these guys, they come out here in droves. Hey, Jake is thinking about that big championship game. They ain't thinking about being Israel, man. They love that marching. Yeah, I'm part of the army. Oh, and another thing, they say that they're the fulfillment of Ezekiel 37, the army. The script, Ezekiel said, this is the whole house of Israel. You guys are not the whole house of Israel. You're just a segment of Israelites. What that means is, so that means we're not part of the army, but we woke up, we got the breath in us, the full breath. Come on now. But I hope they play the whole thing without the music and let them play the dialogue. Because the elders said, we'll go down to the next verse. Because I believe they read Deuteronomy 22, verse 25. So the elder said, go down a couple more verses. And what does that mean? And they refuse to go to it. Like I said, I hope they play it. I don't know if they're going to play it. Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they're told when they say go to another verse, don't deal with them. Because, matter of fact, let me do this in closing. I'm sorry, putting the revelation. I got a revelation on the brain. Deuteronomy 22. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So they deal with that. And they'll say, see, if you rape a girl, you're going to get put to death. So the brother said, according to what he said, let's read down, 26th verse. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man raises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. Meaning, if you kill somebody, the penalty is death. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So she's not going to be put to death. 28th verse. If a man find a damsel, young woman, that is a virgin, a patwala, never been touched by a man, which is not betrothed, not engaged, and lay hold. What does the word lay hold mean? And these guys say, rap to her and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, lay hold, meaning take her by force, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the father, the damsel's father, 50 shekels of silver, because you didn't go to the father. The father could have been setting her up. She could have been 11, 12 years old, and he jumped the gun. So now he's got to pay. He's got to pay the father 50 shekels of silver, and he can't divorce the woman. She gets all old and fat and all that. You don't want to deal with her no more. Well, you got to deal with her. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover the skirts. That's something else. But right here, lay hold. Lay hold. Let's look up the word lay hold real quick. The word is thapash. To catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, seize, yield, to lay hold, seize, arrest, catch, to grasp, to grab, yield, use skillfully, to be seized, to be arrested, to be caught, captured. And that's what they did, the Benjamites did, the 400 Benjamites and Judges. There's 65 times in the Old Testament. Right here, First Kings 11, verse 30. And Ahijah the prophet, which he's a prophet, caught the new garment that was Jeroboam, the new garment that was on him, and rent it in 12 pieces. Now, if you read the rest of it, he gave him 10 pieces, right? Let me read the rest of it. And he said, the prophet Ahijah, to Jeroboam, take the 10 pieces. For thus saith the Lord, and you know the rest of the story. That was a split right there. So what did Ahijah do? That's the word there. Tapas, to grab. And he ripped the garment off and tore it into 12 pieces. He said, you take 10 of them. So it was all set up by the Most High for the split to take place. So a lot of people are you're going to get terrified, man. There's going to be so many dead people out here. Most High getting ready to bring death. '29th verse. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the father 50 shekels of silver, because he have humbled her. Let's look up the word humble. And then the dude said, you a man of the Lord saying that? You condone rape, and you a man? Well, a man of the Lord will condone it because it's in the law. It's hard. It's a hard saying, but it's in the law. Let's look up the word humbled. See, if you get caught up in your emotions, you can't get this truth. The Most High is not dealing with you. The word is aina. To be occupied, be bruised with, be afflicted, oppressed, humbled, be afflicted, to bow down, to be put down, become low, to be depressed. Sakari, the leadership of Sakari said, well, it means other things. I'm reading a whole laundry list of things. It all means the same thing. To arrest, to take against thine own will. I'm adding that in there. So now let's go over here. 83 times. I want to go to one precept. Matter of fact, let me see. Okay, right here, the first one, Genesis 15, verse 13. That he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be in a stranger in a strange land. It's not talking about America. That's talking about ancient Egypt. That is not theirs, and shall serve them, the Egyptians, Mizraim, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Afflict is a word, ainah. They making them work, they put them in slavery. Let me come way down over here. Okay, this is the story of Absalom's daughter. They say it's David's daughter. It was Absalom's daughter. She was David's granddaughter. So there was like a misprint, mistype, whatever. And his brother that had laid with his sister, or I'm sorry, not his sister, his niece. It says, and she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Well, is she a master of the law? Was she a Levitical priest? No, she was just an Israelite woman at that, a young woman. So she really didn't understand the law. But now what happened was, after he lay with her, she liked it. She liked it. And she fell in love with that man. He put the rod on her and she fell in love with him. But he was like, bitch, get away from me, man. I got what I want. That right there proves you that that's a Jake. That's a Jake right there. Jake does stupid shit like that. Name my brother, meaning that was her uncle. Now it says, do not force. The word there is force. H6031. What's the word? Ainah. H6031. Ainah. So she asked, the word force was used there. In Deuteronomy 22, the word there is humbled. It means the same thing. Be bruised with, oppress, humble, afflict, arrest, afflict. The Egyptians afflicted Israel for 400 years, humbled them. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.